Working 6 days a week, 8 hours a day at this noodle stand, Xu Jingni earns $500 a month, less than the minimum wage. That's not enough to even cover her rent. The only wage earner in her family of 7, this means she needs state help to survive.
This job pays very little. My husband suffered a stroke and can't work. My parents-in-law are elderly people. We're basically surviving on government and agency assistance. If it weren't for the welfare, we wouldn't be able to live.
There are an increasing number of people like Ms. Xu, and as Taiwan's cost of living has risen, their predicament has worsened. Many get by selling snacks on the streets. According to government figures, some 640,000 Taiwanese are officially classed as poor or living just above the poverty line. At the same time, when adjusted for inflation, salaries here have not risen from the levels they were at more than a decade ago. Taiwan's government increased the amount of financial aid it gave to poor families last year by nearly $100 million. But many people who are barely getting by are still not considered poor and do not get any government assistance. That's why non-governmental social service agencies like this one are increasingly having to step in to fill the gap. Besides giving welfare checks, they hand out oil, rice, and other daily necessities. The number of households that have sought help from this office alone has increased by 200 in the past 2 years to nearly 800 families.
The families can only think about the bare basics, putting food on the table. When we ask them if they want their kids to learn English, they can barely comprehend that. These families are at a high risk of domestic violence and alcoholism. What we're most worried about is poverty transferring to the next generation.
After paying the rent and other expenses with her salary and welfare checks, Ms. Xu's family has nothing left. Meals are simple, with little meat. Ms. Xu worries that she might not be able to put her children through high school, much less college, and that would mean an increasingly uncertain future for both her and her children. Cindy Su, BBC News, Taipei.